What's up, everyone? Welcome, Squad, and welcome to Slav Guns. I have a couple of meetings, so I've lost my Adidas stripes, but don't worry, they'll be back in a couple of days. Now, we've already covered a lot of Ruger products, such as the very hot and popular Ruger 57, or is it the 57?
Which, either one you want. It's
okay.
a Ruger 57, right?
The Ruger 57, the 57, I think, as we called it in the video. And we've looked at the awesome Ruger LCP2 and 22, which is going to be a great handgun for anybody getting started. Ruger, however, about a year and a half ago, you started really upping your game and coming out with custom and semi-custom guns for gun owners.
Yeah, we called it the custom shop, but it's the same standard guns that we make, but with a lot more attention to detail. So we make good guns greater.
So last year, I was completely impressed with the Ruger 1911 from the custom shop. And I remember at Media Day last year, we were shooting and we came to the booth at the end of the day. The targets were already knocked over, and the only targets that were left were standing at 100 yards. Somebody at the booth was apologizing. I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. I'll just shoot at 100 yards. And 6 out of 8 shots were hit on a steel popper at 100 yards, which is just mind-blowing what you can get with a gun at a reasonable price. Since then, it looks like you've expanded just a little.
Expanded just a little bit. So in the revolver world, these are the Super GPs. Yeah. Now the Super, there's a little play on words there. These are actually Super Redhawk frames. So they're an 8-shot in 357 capacity. So we have a sleeve and shroud barrel that puts the barrel in tension, which improves accuracy. You have an 8-shot cylinder, and it's a slicked up action from the factory, so it's a very nice trigger stroke, very crisp single action. This version, though, just came out of SHOT Show this year. This is a 9mm version, so if you see that here, the cylinder is shortened because you don't need a long cylinder for 9mm. You only need to be long enough for the cartridge. When the cylinder is shorter, it's lighter. When it's lighter, it rotates faster, so you can get between shots faster. Same thing, tension barrel, you get a fully adjustable sight, fiber optic front, slicked up action, and a very nice Hogue rubber grip. I'm sorry, Hogue wooden grip. yeah.
This is rubber.
That is, yeah, it's painted, no.
It's painted rubber.
Yeah. It's actually, this grip, Hogue has a rubber version of it and a wood version. It's a super comfortable grip, and notice it's smooth. Yeah. And if you're shooting a lot of revolver work, you actually appreciate the smoothness rather than that coarse checkering. Okay? Yeah. Now you mentioned the 1911, so that's the 5-inch 1911, the Koenig competition model. Well, what about for carry purposes? Right? So here is an officer style in 45. Now, the frame and slide is fitted. It's wonderful lock work with cylinder and slide components. So it's a nice, crisp trigger pull. So this is a top quality hand-fitted 1911, but instead of a custom shop competition model, we have a carry version here.
Now, for those not familiar, so one of the things that Ruger is completely well known for is being able to take production guns, everything straight from production, put it to the assembly floor, and the guns run without issues. So what's the process for these guns? How is the process different for the custom shop guns versus the standard production?
So we have a little bit of fitting to do on the slide and frame. So they're the same parts, same people, but they're channeled off, given a little more time, a little more attention to detail for fitting them together. So it really is a production line gun. Calling it custom shop but it's custom shop is a word that people understand. So it's a higher level of fitting, precision. It's a very nice gun.
Awesome. So, and then it looks like you have a couple of 1022s here.
Sure. So 1022 custom shops start out. This is a billet receiver. It's machine billet rather than the cast receiver that we normally use.
And it looks like the rail is already built.
The rail is integral, and it's also extended. And if you look underneath, there's actually another barrel clamp. So the standard 1022 has the 2-screw clamp on the bottom. It only clamps from the bottom. This 1022, the barrel clamps in from the top as well. Okay. So you have a true free float on the barrel. Okay. There's also a billet bolt. It's nitrided, so it's very smooth action. We put our BX trigger in. Notice this barrel is fluted, and it's actually nitrided before it's ground on the outside, so you get this great two-tone. We have our own comp on there. So it's a really nice, high-grade 1022, but it's not the super big money of the really boutique brands. We carve this stock on our own in our own wood shop. Yep. So Ruger is vertically integrated. We do a lot of the work ourselves, so we get to put together a real high-end gun. It's more money than a standard 22, but it's not super expensive.
And one of the things with a lot of we've seen some rifles from Savage, other companies. They're going out there and instead of doing it themselves, they're partnering up with other manufacturers. And I suppose the benefit here would be if you're doing it yourself, you have your own quality control all the way through.
We have our own quality control. It's our own design, and also it's supply. We can make. We're responsible for our own parts, right? We're not beholden to anybody. But most of it is nobody else has to make money off it. We're doing it in-house, so we try to keep the cost reasonable.
And speaking of the cost, one of the things we haven't talked about yet, actually, what's the price points and the availability on these guns?
So we have these in production right now, but you win Stump the Gurney contest. I don't remember the MSRPs, but it's on Ruger.com. You can look them up.
Look on Ruger.com, and I'll include them in the description and in the comments.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, and then we have this guy.
Yeah, so you can kind of see some similarities. The barreled action is the same. This is more of a sporter style stock. But what we put here is that cheek piece. You might recognize this cheek piece. Yeah.
I do recognize it.
So that came from the Ruger Precision Rifle. We found it's a good thing to put in other guns. So if you get a fairly tall optic, raise the comb, now you get a comfortable cheek height. So we're trying to give people what they want.
Now, what kind of accuracy can you expect out of these guns, and what other tangible benefits of these guns versus the production guns?
So the accuracy is going to depend on your ammunition, right? And some guns like some ammunition more than others, so I'm not going to quote an exact number. The tangible is the fit and finish, the consistency, and really you do have a better accuracy with the whole barrel system. So it's altogether a better made gun.
And I think you already answered it, but they're available right now, correct?
Absolutely. We wouldn't have them here if they weren't in production. When we launch something, we already have guns in stock ready to go.
Unlike some manufacturers, I know it's, on one hand, it's nice to be teased with nice new guns you can see at SHOT Show, and then a year and a half later, they're still not released.
No, we don't like getting hate mail for doing that. So lots of times we introduce an exciting new gun that people want to get and they can't. But it's not because we're not making them. We make plenty of them. The Wrangler, for instance, yes. We make an awful lot of Wranglers. We have 5 shifts running. It's running 24/7.
And I know it's one of the things that you have a lot of dealers watching the channel, and one of the things we're always wondering about, and I guess it might also be a conversation for a different outlet. You have awesome guns, but oftentimes dealers will have a hard time getting them.
Well, we're making as many as we can, all the time.
Awesome. So that's the custom shop from Ruger. And then I guess we have 1 or 2 other new models besides the 57 and the 22.
We've got plenty of new stuff on the wall here. So.
See, and that's the thing with Ruger. It's like you go through, when I pick and I'm working on my production calendar, I'm looking at, okay, what do I want, this, or this? I go search for new guns. There's like 20 different items. I'm like, I don't have the time in the day in order to do that.
Yes, yeah. We published some cheat sheets for ourselves.
Okay.
And if I had been, I could have given you the MSRP answer, right? but this is the whole stack of them that we're ready here.
So there you go. So that's the Ruger Custom Shop, and then we'll take a look at a couple other guns in the near future. All right.
Hey, it's SHOT Show. What do you do, right?